Okay, so this is our Ford F-150 Lightning. As you can tell, I do have a lift, but I quickly found out that there's one problem since this is a full-size pickup truck and it's an electric vehicle. When I put my lift in, electric vehicles were not really a thing yet. And so that's my front, yeah, I know it's a little messy. So that's my front wall where my toolboxes are. So center point on a Ford F-150 Lightning for your lifts, since it doesn't have a motor, and traditionally you'd kind of line it up with about the center of your driver's seat because you got the motor weight as the balance. The center point, and I'll show you in a second, but so that is measuring from the first lift point to the second lift point at 60 inches. So you can kind of see the jack under there. And hopefully you can see that little arrow notch there. I'll get a flashlight on there in a second. Anyway, so that's 60 inches. So the halfway point would be 30, or basically kind of right between your R and your D, which puts you kind of like behind the driver's seat, depending on how tall you are. So again, coming up, so probably about here on your door handle, that's your beam. So it's basically this far back. So that gives you 9 feet in front of the vehicle. And the way I had my lift set up, I was kind of counting on regular size, mid-size vehicles. But since this sits about a foot further, even if I moved my toolboxes out of the way, I would still be tight in getting in front of the vehicle. So anyway, so that's why we've resorted to mounting the tires, taking the tires off, mounting it while it's on the ground, which is fun. So that is your lift point, noted by the arrow on the back. And then that is your arrow on the front, the lift point. So again, you got 30 inches is center between the 60 inches, and that basically puts you right around the R and the D, or this sliver of the door going up behind the driver's seat if you have the driver's seat pretty far back. But anyway, so that kind of gives you an idea of how you would lift the F-150 Lightning on a lift if you have one. But that's where your center point would be. And again, man, that would have been an easy job if I had enough room. Anyway, Brian from Garage Mall, thanks for watching, and be safe out there.